She is a outrage vending machine, if you will. She's the person who treats public policy like a social media thread that she just skimmed between commercial breaks. So when I saw this clip, I had to pause, breathe, count to 10 even. And then I laughed.
When people say, I changed my mind, we have to say, welcome back to reality.
Mayor Karen Bass, Los Angeles' denier-in-chief. This is the woman who somehow managed to look at literal riots in her city and say, calm down, everyone, nothing's happening. Here it is. It's a reminder that she said that the Trump administration wants to go into inner cities and shoot people. By the way, she's rocking her new business haircut. Like she's about to audition for a Scandinavian reboot of Mad Max. The comparison here to He-Man is uncanny. So here she is in her latest performance, wrapped in a highlighter yellow suit that could redirect air traffic.
Violence doesn't come from Democrats, just to be clear. I mean, obviously anyone can be a criminal, but it is MAGA. It's specifically MAGA faction. Like.
Welcome to Stay in the Fray podcast. I'm your host, Ryan. This is where headlines get hit hard, hypocrisy gets shredded, and the absurd are laughed at. If you want comfort, this isn't your place. If you want blunt and unfiltered, I'm your guy. Join me in the fray.
All you gotta do is just listen up.
Hey everyone, hope you're all well. I'm back. You know, it still blows my mind that people with massive platforms, politicians, celebrities, activists, can just flat out lie. Like provable in 2 seconds kind of lies. And they walk away like nothing happened, and they wake up and they do the same thing again the next day and the day after that. They know that it's false. They know that it's dangerous, and they do it anyway. And it's not just this harmless background noise anymore. These statements, these talking points, they're fuel. They're turning the weak-minded, the desperate, and the angry into ticking time bombs. Yep, the people spreading it and sit on TV pretending to be the voice of reason. What's the tactic here? Well, it's desperation. They've run out of truth, so now it's just performance. Loud, emotional, and completely detached from reality. Perhaps that's why our actors and actresses at these award ceremonies are all over the place. It's manipulation disguised as morality. Now, I could just laugh at it all, and trust me, I have, and I will continue to. But this stuff needs more than an eye roll and a chuckle. Because when the rhetoric starts to bleed into real violence and real actions, pretending it will be just social media memes isn't an option anymore. So here we go. It's back. They really said that. The latest round of dangerous, delusional, and hilarious outrage from the people who think feelings are facts and outrage is their solution. So here we go. This is Stay in the Fray podcast. It is October the 6th, 2025. Let's roll. This woman has led off many of these, and she's going to lead off this one because I just can't stand her. And again, she probably likes that. Deep down, she probably loves that some people are cheering her, and some people, I just don't understand how this person is a representative of a district. And of course, I'm talking about the queen of delusion herself, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. You know, the one who never met a camera she didn't love or lie that she couldn't confidently truly try and sell. She is the political version of a malfunctioning Siri, loud, wrong, and convinced that she's educating you. Her favorite line is, Google it. Yeah, we did. And that's why we know you're full of shit. So here she is in her latest performance, wrapped in a highlighter yellow suit that could redirect air traffic, in declaring that MAGA supporters are the ones responsible for political violence, including the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Go ahead and play this, boys.
Violence doesn't come from Democrats, just to be clear. I mean, obviously anyone can be a criminal, but It is MAGA. It's specifically MAGA faction. Like, I don't think traditional Republicans are getting engaged in all of this, but like, even when we look at, and they don't talk about the assassination attempts anymore that took place with Donald Trump, but these were Trump supporters, right? As well as this most recent situation, they tried to flip it and say, oh, the leftists are, I'm like, this doesn't even make sense, right? But it's only like MAGA that does this.
Oh my God. What are the shoulder pads? You could get out there and play linebackers for the Packers. You heard that right. According to Jasmine, Trump supporters are now out here trying to assassinate Trump. This is next level delusion. And then she talked right after that about this most recent event. She couldn't even fucking say it. Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and it wasn't by a Trump supporter. It's like blaming the fire department for showing up, and you accuse them of arson because they have a pail of water. What's worse is she says it with this kind of confidence, only possible when you know CNN and any other weak-minded souls will never fact-check you. Then she goes on this, I believe it's a podcast. They look like they have a pretty good production company and studio. I imagine they've done well. The Breakfast Club. I'm unfamiliar with them. But it's another stage for her one-woman fantasy tour. She insists in this interview that she has never incited violence. According to her, none of her fellow Democrats have either. She challenges anyone to find where they have. Oh, yeah? You might want to grab some popcorn for this one. I forgot mine, but go ahead and grab it. Enjoy.
Literally have never said anything to invoke violence, and I challenge somebody to go and find a clip of a Democrat invoking violence.
Challenge accepted.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Maybe Donald Trump will go away. Maybe he'll go to jail. Maybe he will die.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country.
This year, this country could very well go the way of Germany in the 1930s.
Comparing the tactics of Donald Trump to Mussolini and Hitler is a very legitimate thing.
I don't care what Elon Musk is doing behind a presidential seal. In this country, we hate Nazis.
We have a Timmu Hitler in the White House right now that thinks that he is going to become the dictator of the United States.
Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Okay, we know that.
This is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful, walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Make them pay.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you will pay the price.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
I feel like punching him.
Kudos to whoever patched that together. I think it could probably go on for the full length of a feature film. But Jasmine, that's what happens when you tell people to Google it and to look it up. Someone actually does. And did you happen to notice? She was right smack in the middle of the video herself. So 2 birds, 1 stone, that whole thing. These are the same people who screamed that words are violence right before they called for literal violence. They do not want peace. They want permission. They want to gaslight you into thinking your memory is broken. Jasmine is not a lawmaker. She is a propaganda machine in heels. And honestly, at this point, her political strategy is simple. Say the wildest thing possible, let social media amplify it, and hope the audience is either too dumb or too distracted to notice that she contradicted herself 3 times in 1 sentence. This isn't just embarrassing for her. It's dangerous for all of us. I wish I could just laugh. I wish I could. But while she's screaming, MAGA violence, her side's out there torching buildings, assaulting conservatives, and calling it a protest. Jasmine Crockett isn't speaking truth to power. She's performing ignorance to light applause. The scariest part is that she's doing it on purpose. and she's our representative. Moving on. So here we go. Mayor Karen Bass, Los Angeles' denier-in-chief. This is the woman who somehow managed to look at literal riots in her city and say, calm down, everyone, nothing's happening. She doubled and tripled down on it while police vehicles were like burning behind her in the camera and bricks were flying by her head. Well, now she's back, this time on CNN's Outfront with Aaron Burnett. I've confirmed this to be true, but they sure ripped down these videos very fast. It's almost like she shouldn't have said it. Here it is. I have a post for you. It's very simple. It's a reminder that she said that the Trump administration wants to go into inner cities and shoot people. This was in response to, of course, the National Guard going into these major cities, regardless of what little judge wants to try and strike it down. I wish I could say this was just some sort of inappropriate parody of Karen Bass saying this thing, but that's the actual mayor of Los Angeles accusing the president of wanting to execute citizens. This is what desperation sounds like when it's masquerading as leadership. She has zero evidence of this ridiculous claim. Something so absurd. Not some sort of document or a recording of somebody. Not even some sort of bad meme she throw up there. Like, she throws it out as a statement of casual conversation. Oh yeah, he wants to come in and shoot people. And the media's reaction, well, again, they deleted that video faster than a fact check on Hunter Biden. Gone. Poof. Scrubbed. But the damage was done because that's how propaganda works. You say it on national TV once, and it spreads like a virus through the echo chambers before anyone can cough out the truth. Here's the irony. The same people who spend every day chanting, democracy is under attack, are perfectly fine attacking reality in itself. Bass doesn't govern LA. She gaslights it. She treats the truth like graffiti. You spray over it and hope nobody remembers what was underneath. It would almost be funny if it weren't so damn dangerous, because when the mayor of America's second largest city tells people that the president wants to shoot them, somebody out there believes her. And that somebody may act out. That is the difference between stupid and sinister. Intent. She knows it's false. She knows it riles people up. And she does it anyway because the chaos is currency in her party right now. So when you see Karen Bass smiling at that camera talking about healing communities, just know what she's really selling is fear and scare tactic. Karen, LA does not need more press conferences. It needs truth, law, and leaders who don't confuse fiction for policy. Enough of you. My goodness. We did Jasmine again. These people keep giving me repeat material. So we have to go ahead and talk about Rosie O'Donnell again. Some of you may roll your eyes, but you know what? Every morning I think she wakes up with her coffee, gets her phone out, and records herself saying something fucking stupid. It's her goal, it seems like. She is a outrage vending machine, if you will. She's the person who treats public policy like a social media thread that she just skimmed between commercial breaks. So when I saw this clip, I had to pause. Breathe, count to 10 even, and then I laughed. This is my my routine. Then I shook my head in disgust. Here's why. Roll it, boys.
When people say, I changed my mind, we have to say, welcome back to reality. Let's all be Americans together, right? Because what's happening is not only happening to Democrats, it's happening to everyone. And when the Medicaid cuts go in, old people are going to start to die. To die. What he's done yet hasn't even hit us yet. Right. And if he's not stopped now, we have lost our country. And I don't know, Nicole, how it is that some people cannot see it.
I'll give you a second. Let's break this down. First off, people are changing their minds. This is a new narrative I'm hearing from all the lefties. They must get it on their morning woke left-wing memos. Show me, Rosie, show me the polls or anything that proves what you're saying. There's not one person that voted for Donald Trump that I've seen or heard or talked to anywhere that's sitting there going, you know what, yeah, I regret it. If somebody calls them out for something and says, hey, I would have done it differently, that's not the same thing. Don't tell me how you feel about a trend. Show me the trend. 4 other cat ladies sitting in the pub or the coffee shop in Ireland with you doesn't count. The Medicaid panic porn, this is a classic scare tactic. Replace policy nuance with apocalyptic phrasing and watch your followers panic. It's a politics by horror movie trailer. Old people dying because of policy adjustments. That's a heavy claim. Make a claim with data or don't make it at all. I'll say it for everybody in the back. The Medicaid cuts will be for illegal immigrants and people who do not need it. The elderly do not fall into those groups, Rosie, because they need it. Rosie's shtick is moral superiority with a megaphone. She treats nuance like kryptonite, and nuance is usually the thing that stops real harm. Instead, she serves maximum panic, minimum context. She acts like she's speaking for the nation, but she's really speaking from the echo chamber of cable TV and groupthink. It's performative virtue dressed up as manifesto. The irony is delicious. She demands empathy for everyone while showing none for people who disagree with her. Rosie, here is some free advice. If you want people to listen, try facts, try nuance. Try not sounding like you got both your talking points from a group chat that only includes people who already agree with you. The worst part is this stuff isn't harmless silliness to simply laugh at either. It winds people up, it gets them all riled, spreads panic, and it polishes the idea that catastrophic collapse is just one vote away, which makes every argument uglier and every compromise impossible. Here's the thing. Rosie's not leading any kind of movement. She's just sitting over in Ireland making weird clips every day about Trump. This is a man she's had a known feud with long before he ever set foot in the White House. This isn't politics to her. It's some personal vendetta dressed up as virtue. She'll say anything and do anything and twist anything just to take a swing at him. It's pathetic and it's dangerous, and it's the definition of obsession. Rosie O'Donnell is not brave. She's just a trash human with Wi-Fi in Ireland and too much time. Just shut up, Rosie. Moving on. This one will be fun. This is a new contestant or new participant on They Really Said That. This is somebody who I guess just shows up in the "Why are you talking?" category. Ariana Grande. Apparently, she's now an expert on politics, economics, immigration, and national happiness, all from the comfort of her multi-million-dollar recording studio. In this Instagram post that she made, Ariana is checking in with Trump voters. It's cute. Again, it's this new narrative that we regret our vote. We don't. It's like a pop star outreach program for the working class. She starts listing everything she thinks has gone wrong in America under Donald Trump. Immigrants torn from their homes, trans people living in fear, free speech collapsing, the whole melodramatic grocery store of woke talking points. The problem is every sentence is emotional bait wrapped in half-truths. Let's start with immigrants torn from their homes. You mean illegal immigrants being detained and deported, which is literally what happens when you break the law. They're not ripped from homes. They're processed under the same immigration code every administration has used for decades. Go look up how many people President Obama deported. And if families don't want to be separated, I have an idea. Don't cross illegally. It sucks. People have this misconception that we're enjoying watching families get separated from each other. I don't want to see that. Why would I want to see that? But accountability needs to lie with them, not American citizens, and not the people who are waiting the right way. Then she goes on about trans people being blamed for everything. Ariana, nobody's blaming the trans community for everything. If someone carries out murder in the name of transgender ideologies, yeah, I blame them for murder, like I'd blame anybody else. And yes, people are angry about men and women's sports, about kids being pushed into irreversible surgeries, etc. There are issues within the trans community that we need to discuss. We're not blaming them for everything. It's such the overall frustration isn't about trans people. It's about priorities. We've reached a point where nearly the entire country is expected to rearrange basic norms to satisfy a fraction of the population. When 99.4% of Americans feel that they're being lectured by woke ideologies demanding that we cater to the 0.6%, something's off. It's not equality anymore. It's policy by intimidation. And this one's my favorite. She says, free speech is on the verge of collapse. We keep hearing this. Sweetheart. I know that probably you don't like to hear that from me, but I'll say it anyway. Sweetheart, Ariana. Trump was banned from every social media platform. Conservatives were censored, shadow banned, and deplatformed for telling the truth during COVID, while your side called it misinformation. Who was right on that? The government literally pressured tech companies to silence people. So no, the collapse didn't start because Jimmy Kimmel got a timeout. And then Ariana gets all personal. Has your life gotten better? I'm glad that you asked. Let's go through your questionnaire. She says, have groceries gotten better? Well, yes, actually, here where I am, prices are down from this same point last year. I know that because I buy them myself. Has your health insurance premium gone down? Still high, unfortunately, thanks to Obamacare, the policy your side swore would fix things. Has your work-life balance improved? Well, working, taking care of my family, having hobbies, living life, all good. How about you talk about your work-life balance? How has it gotten worse, Ariana? She says, can you take a vacation yet? Yeah, I've had 3 this year. But you probably wouldn't understand only being able to squeeze 3 vacations in, paid time off, all those things, when you've got private jets on standby. And lastly, she says, are you happier? Hell yes. In case you missed that, that was an emphatic yes. Because the adults are finally back in charge, and the tantrum-throwing social media crowd is starting to lose its grip on the narrative. Listen closely. Trump is doing what he was voted in to do. The vast majority want it. Ariana wants to sound compassionate, but it's just tone-deaf privilege disguised as empathy. She's not asking questions to understand. She's asking to guilt you into agreeing with her. And here's the real punchline. For someone so worried about free speech, she sure doesn't want anyone else to use it unless they're parroting her script. Ariana, stay in your lane. Sing, dance, sell perfume. Just stop trying to be the conscience of the working class when you couldn't survive 1 week in their reality. Moving on. I couldn't wait for this one, and I hope you enjoy this. Our favorite climate crusader turned global protest tourist, Greta Thunberg. Apparently, the climate headlines weren't dramatic enough this season. So Greta's packed her sailboat and moved on to Gaza. Because when you can't find a hurricane to scold, by the way, not one single one in the month of September, which is unheard of for the United States, you might as well hop on into the next global crisis and start pointing fingers. She and her entourage of eco-freedom fighters showed up waving protest signs, declaring Israel evil, Hamas good, and humanity doomed. Now, whether you agree with any of those things or disagree with those things, that's not the point. This is all from the safety of an Instagram carousel. By the way, she's rocking her new business haircut, like she's about to audition for a Scandinavian reboot of Mad Max. The comparison here to He-Man is uncanny. And then the plot twist. Reports say she was detained by Israeli authorities, which sounds dramatic until you find out that she was basically taken in, fed, and released. Treated better than a tourist who overstayed their visa, probably. Still, Greta was not satisfied. Check this out. And I confirm this to be true, too. Greta Thunberg complains that the beds in Israel, in the prison system, in Israel prison are substandard. I'm sorry. Oh no, Greta, the horror. Imagine being detained in a conflict zone and not getting 5-star linens. Somebody call Amnesty International and a mattress sponsor. This is what happens when activism becomes performance art. You take a kid, you tell her she's saving the world, hand her a camera crew, and now she thinks global conflict is just another opportunity for brand engagement. The irony for someone who built her brand screaming, "How dare you!" That was a good impression. She's now showing up in places where that phrase actually means something entirely different, where people are actually fighting for survival, not retweets. Greta keeps proving that the modern activist doesn't need solutions. They just need signal, sympathy, and Wi-Fi. Greta, the world does not need another influencer with a cause. It needs adults who can solve problems. Until then, keep the boat docked. Maybe skip the prison reviews. By the way, I think that haircut was last seen in a Renaissance painting of a guy holding a lute. God, I'm sorry, but that hair, it's like a prince, like, you know, back when they were sword fighting, there's a gallant prince haircut. All right, here's my final thoughts for this episode. I believe that most people, the overwhelming majority of human beings, just want to live a decent life. They want to raise their kids, feel safe, work hard, laugh a little, play a little golf, watch some ball. You know, I don't know, maybe have a weekend that doesn't involve outrage or ideology. Family, faith, fun, freedom, that's a good foundation. But somewhere along the way, that stopped being enough for the loud minority. They became addicted to chaos, and not because the world was collapsing, but because peace didn't get them clicks and attention. They scream about justice, but what they really crave is that attention. They claim they're fighting for humanity, but they can't even stand the humans who disagree with them. It's impossible to have unity when people hate the very idea of stability just because it comes from the wrong side. They'd rather watch the house burn than admit that the neighbor that they despise built a stronger foundation. And for what? Ego. Clout. The dopamine rush of pretending outrage is morality. But here's the truth. No society survives that way. You can't build progress on tantrums. You can't raise generations on grievance. And you can't fix what's broken by destroying what still works. So as long as they keep talking nonsense, I'll keep calling it out. Not because it's funny, though it usually is, but because reason still matters and sanity still has a voice. They really said that, and we really heard it. I'll do another one of these very soon. I already have plenty of ammunition. So stay aware, stay grounded, stay sane, stay in the fray. Love you guys.
All you gotta do is just listen up.